What's up, everybody? Appreciate you being here. Happy TGIF to every single one of y'all out here. We are back at my favorite track, the Daytona International Speedway. Since the last time we were here was the Daytona 500 Speed Weeks. We had a great kickoff of our channel for NASCAR in the beginning of February, but now we're back here. And it looks like the weather's going to hold up. I just checked the radar, and I think we're going to go qualifying here. So qualifying should be starting here in about 2 minutes. Broadcast will bringing you in here as well. So thank you guys so much for being here with us. We appreciate you being here. We're going to have a full packed night tonight. I also just dropped the preview vlog, the race preview paint scheme vlog, so make sure you guys check that out during the break here before the Xfinity race. We're going to be bringing you the Wawa 250 right after this, and we're going to have a good time tonight. And then tomorrow night, for all the marbles, the Coke Zero Sugar 400. We'll see who can win there. Can Chris Buescher win from last year? Can Willie B win back-to-back at Daytona? We will see. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button for us for a qualifying stream. No practice, just qualifying here. So, and congratulations to Chandler Smith for getting the poll for the Wawa 250, which we'll be bringing you live right here on our channel. So hope you're ready to have some fun. Let's check and see in the chat real quick. What's up, Corey Kimbernator? What's up? Good to see you. Billy, Ricky, what's going on? Bronny, what is up, everybody? And Steve, Lloyd, Skates, Ashton, Daniel Berry. Who else is here? Easy, JG, Gregor. What's going on? Eric Church. I know everyone in this chat is a Ty Gibbs fan. Let's go this weekend. Let's see what happens. Samson, what's going on? Jake, hello. Dean, hello. Welcome in. Pastel, what's up? D, what's up? Triton, dropping those 11s. He's a big FedEx fan now. I love it. I love it. Sonic, what's going on? 97. Menace, dropping those 8, the 22, and the 12. Decado said this is the 5th time in a row that Mother Nature screws up NASCAR race like a... We'll see. I think we're going to be good. The rain's not, I think, falling. So thunderstorms are looming near the track, so they had to cancel round 2. Okay, so that's why Chandler Smith. So we'll see what happens here. It's about to go live. If they cancel it, they cancel it. But we'll hang out here together, and we'll see how everything goes. But what's up, Lloyd? Good to see you as well. So let's go to the main page here. All right, so there we go. Hey, what's up? Nice. Yeah, Clifford, you're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Hit that like button for us, y'all. BJ McLeod will win the poll right now. We'll see. It don't look
Here
good.
at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway, at such a critical series as we welcome you to qualifying for the Cup. And Coca-Cola Zero Sugar 400.
See, he doesn't even know.
It's a sunny...
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
Two regular series races left, and this is the state of play right now with the drivers highlighted in yellow. They're locked in to the playoffs already, but you...
I can't show the actual qualified, Dalton.
Next to Denny Hamlin there in 6th position in the playoffs. And the reason, fellas,
Put Bubba on the pole, Stevie says.
Big week. A penalty for the 11 team, Denny Hamlin. It's a bit complicated on paper, but really a simple mistake by Toyota Racing Development, the engine provider for Denny Hamlin, Joe Gibbs Racing. When a team wins a race, they're required to run 18 sealed races over the course of a year. That means you run fresh engines half the time, engines that have been raced before the other half. For that reason, after you win a race, you don't have to tear it down right away. You can put a different seal on it and say, we'll do it after the next time. The 11 of Denny Hamlin won Bristol in the spring, opted to not tear the engine down. Totally acceptable.
Then he go to appeal.
That engine at Darlington in the spring.
Hopefully he can get it.
Instead of it going to NASCAR, went back to their home in Costa Mesa, was torn down and rebuilt. Self-reported, they let NASCAR know, hey, we made a big mistake. Doesn't matter. Intention, the simple fact.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Denny gets the penalty.
Yeah, I give Toyota a ton of credit for self-reporting it. It was clearly a mistake. There was no competitive advantage. It wasn't like they were cheating. It was going to eventually be inspected anyway. It was just simply a logistical mistake, if nothing else. But the penalty is real. Denny Hamlin, this 11 team, they were third in points. And they still were battling for the regular season championship. And this penalty, it's taken them out of it. There is no way they're going to win the regular season championship. And that is a point hit in the playoffs. And on top of that, 10 playoff points. Those playoff points we have seen multiple times.
Menace.
1 point, 2 points, a tie between making a certain round in the playoffs. So that is a massive penalty.
Car insurance is up 20.
I feel bad for them. They had no control over it. It's nothing they could have done. They did nothing wrong, but nonetheless.
Denny's here. I hope so, Vex.
And they have to pay the price.
And for the fans asking, well, what happens
What's up,
if they
DJ?
NASCAR would have. The paperwork would have caught up by the time the playoffs started. Toyota found it ahead of time is really the story. Diff, you welcome the fans of Daytona. We want to welcome you to Daytona. Welcome you to the NASCAR booth. It's going to be a fun run to the finish of this season.
I've done just about every form of racing here. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, it's not too good.
NASCAR Cup Series. We'll go qualifying when we come back.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I don't like this new announcer already. He doesn't seem like he knows what he's talking about. The other guy, at least Rick Allen, like he knew NASCAR. Like just when he came in, it looked like he didn't know the name of the sponsor of the race. I don't know about this one. I think they made a mess. I liked Rick Allen. Did nobody else like Rick Allen? I mean, I don't know. Listen to NASCAR all year or half the season with NBC. I like Rick Allen. I don't see a problem with it, but this guy just seems like he's out of it. I know he calls IndyCar. That's his guy, you know. He did race NASCAR races before, not that I remember, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get used to him. Yeah, the rain's going to stay away. It's going to move north. I already checked it out, so work should be good the rest of the night. And then tomorrow we'll bring you the Coke Zero 400. Tonight we're going to be bringing you the Wawa 250, just like we do every week. So make sure you guys hang out right here and subscribe to. This is the only NASCAR channel you want to subscribe to. This is the only best place to be. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's see if we get to 21,000 this weekend. But we'll see. We don't need Allen. We got UC. Oh, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. No practice here, just straight qualifying. That's right, Ricky. No qualifying. Listen to the 2017 Watkins Glen race. He broadcast that one. Okay. I'll give him a shot. Maybe just first impressions are not good. But hit that like button. See if we get to 100 likes for this qualifying stream. Now, I'll leave the ticker off for the qualifying. But coming up during the Xfinity race, we'll have the ticker back up. So because there will be games going on during the race. But we should have a good time. It's going to be on USA. And we're going to have that. Plus, we're going to have the cams available tonight. It's going to be a great race here at Daytona under the lights. So, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, Kimbro. Wendy, what's going on? Good to see you as well. I'm just waiting for them to come back. CeeLo, the Preds are going to be great this next season. I hope so, Scotty. We hope we get some Preds games on our channel, too, in the offseason. But we'll see how it goes. We had a great Monday race. If you guys, this is our second race of the week before the weekend hits, y'all. We would race on Monday night and now here on Friday night. So 2 races. They had 2 baseball games this week that were huge. Great night, great week for the channel. So he needs to stay doing open wheel racing. I don't like him doing NASCAR. Yeah, I just don't think he's. All right, well let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I think Rick Allen's doing the Xfinity race tonight, though. That's kind of weird. That's so weird. But meet Austin Dillon today. Can't wait to be at the track tomorrow. Nice, Michael. Good deal. It's Desert Fox. What is up? Good to see you. And how many cars are going to flip tonight? How many cars are going to flip this weekend? I mean, we saw what Corey LaJoie did, not at Daytona. But this should be interesting.
Be okay.
How can we forget that? What went down this time last year with Ryan Preece? I spoke to him briefly about it this morning, and that is firmly in the rear view mirror. There's the menu for the rest of the weekend, by the way. Countdown to green at 7 p.m. Eastern on USA in the lead up to tonight's Xfinity Series race tomorrow.
Okay,
at 7 p.m. Eastern is countdown to green, and then we'll go racing with the Cup Series 7:30 Eastern. Looking forward to that. Also looking forward to bringing you all green
5 cars
will be
flipping
live in tomorrow's Coke Zero Sugar 400 and tonight as well. So looking forward to
What's
that.
up, Butterfly?
Lots to
Thanks
come
for the 100 likes
here.
already. That's awesome.
So speaking of Ryan Preece and what happened last year, let's talk about safety for a little bit.
Yeah, well, so last week, you know, a flip, a different type of flip, but Corey LaJoie doing battle down the back straightaway.
Think Bubba has a chance this weekend?
A little bit of contact,
Maybe.
Around it goes, and that car flipped upside down quickly. Watch how quickly this happens.
It is what it is, Bill.
Almost as soon as it turns sideways, up in the air it goes, gets in the grass, tumbles again. The grass is now gone down the back straightaway at Daytona, trying to prevent those tumbles, but an adjustment made to the cars this week, Steve.
Yeah, reaction from NASCAR.
I do not internet stress. I have enough going on as it is. Can you please turn up the volume on the NASCAR? Yeah, sure.
Fin that goes down the deck lid. We've seen that forever. NASCAR has added a fin to the right side. It's hard to see because it's Lexan, but that right side of the window now has a vertical. It's about 3.5 inch piece of plastic. The concept is when these cars turn around, it's all measured. The magic number is called basically takeoff speed. At what speed can a car go up in the air if going sideways or backwards? The roof flaps, the
Tanya, does that drown me out at all?
That's all to kind of increase that required speed, right? You have to be going really, really fast for this car to go up. That single change right there is basically a 20% improvement.
That's good.
NASCAR had it on the horizon. It was coming eventually, but they wanted to do some more testing after that
We should
seven-car
tell
wreck.
NASCAR
Knowing we had Daytona
we'll
next.
put out if they don't get it right.
Brought these down
Yeah,
and installed
true.
in every car that will compete this weekend.
And it will be interesting to hear the drivers and teams' feedback of what it does to the cars in race mode. Back in a moment.
All right, so we are in another commercial break. Let me see who you got for the poll tonight. Let me see who you got going to the poll. I'm going an all FRM front row. I know it was Joey Logano and Michael McDowell for the 500, but let me see who you got. I'm going Michael McDowell for the poll. That's who I got. Michael McDowell for the poll. Who do you have? Corey says Kyle Busch. It's louder than you. Okay, so I need to turn it down some. Okay. My mic volume's up as loud as it goes, but I'll turn it down where it was because I think it's fine. Larson for the poll. Eva with Kyle Busch. Bowman for the poll. San Diego Kid, of course, your boy Bowman. Busher for the poll. The 48, the 38, and the 5. Lloyd says the 17. Not many FRM or Logano. There's a Logano. Ricky says Logano. John's agreeing with me with Michael McDowell. Todd Gillen wins the poll. I pick him as my dark horse this weekend. And, of course, I have to pick Denny this weekend because of everything that happened. Have you ever thought about ducking radio audio with your mic? No, I don't know what that means. Hopefully there won't be any cars going up over tonight or tomorrow since they added something to the windows to keep the cars on the ground. Good luck, NASCAR. Yeah, it should be interesting considering what happened the last 2 weeks with with LaJoie and what's the other guy? 50 minutes to get off work. Come on, 5 o'clock. That's right. So y'all at work? Some people at work. Are you all at home? Let me see where you guys are at. So you got your Chastain with the pole. He definitely needs a good run. He is, what is he? I think he's right over or under. He's under the cut line right now. I think -1 or 1. I can't remember what I said during my preview vlog. But make sure you guys checking that out as too. I dropped that around 2:45 Central. Gives you all the paint schemes for this weekend, plus some information on the races and everything. I got front row for the inside for the pole and the outside. Me too, Billy Bowes. Me too. Remember last year when Ryan Preece as well? Oh yeah, and that kept on flipping and flipping and flipping. What was that song I fell in love on turn 4? What's that lineup for the second group? There's no group. It's all together. It's all together. All together. No group A, no group B. There'll be a round 2, though, I believe. So, there it is. No group A, group B. Everybody together. It's going to be just like this at Atlanta as well for the first race of the season in the playoffs. Sino Kiss has just got off work at Hard 8 Barbecue in Stevensville. That sounds pretty good. I'm hungry for some barbecue. I'd go for that. Menace says, I think Ross is just above Bubbles. Okay, so it's Ross and then Bubba right below him. So 20% chance. What's the lineup? 30K sub bound. Well, I hope so. We'll see if we get to 21 first. All right, here we go.
It's a garage driver to compete. Fantasy Live lets you keep tabs of your lineup and make in-race adjustments to maximize your score. Simply visit NASCAR.com/fantasy. We've got a fun afternoon ahead and evening as well. Cup qualifying
All right,
coming
y'all.
up in a matter of
Get your
moments.
picks in.
And then Xfinity Series racing here in Daytona later tonight. And you can see the cars, crews, drivers, they're getting ready. We'll roll in just a moment.
It's good now. Brad on the pole. Bad Brad.
Marshall Spires.
Man, how many what are we waiting on here? What are we waiting on? Is it waiting for storms to move out? Oh, you're welcome. So it's just sometimes you get I've noticed that the Edge, Microsoft, I watch the TV on the Edge website, and then I'll do everything else on Chrome. The Edge has the volume a little higher than Chrome does. Ronnie says he's on his way home from work. Nice. FBTGIF to every single one of y'all work on the weekends. We'll try to bring you the best coverage here for you guys if you're watching at work. I believe it will be a Hendricks driver who wins, Kenneth says. Awesome. Kelly Duncan's going Dylan. We'll see. Lee Diffie has no place calling a NASCAR race, period. He's terrible at IndyCar as well. And NBC made this move to save money because he was already under contract. Yep. We'll give him one race, Shane. We'll give him one race and see how he does. Stephenville, Texas is expected to cool down a little bit, surely by the next couple of weeks. Nass says storms aren't moving now. Maybe that's what they're waiting on. Hi, CeeLo and Mods. What's up, Susan? Kristen says, hey, CeeLo, I'm here, not there. I'm crying. Oh, I know you were supposed to go. I'm so sorry. I'll be Saturday in 45 minutes, Bren. Oh, awesome. The ones overseas, happy Saturday morning to you guys. And the ones that are waiting on Saturday nights, happy, everybody. I'm listening from work. Desert Fox, you're welcome. NBC being inclusive. I guess Rick Allen wanted more money. Rick Allen will continue to broadcast Xfinity races, but Lee Diffley will begin all NBC broadcasting for Cup races from here on. It doesn't make a bit of sense. If you're going to keep Rick Allen doing Xfinity, I mean, I know he's going to be going to the CW and all that stuff, and maybe, I don't know. So weird. I went last year, but I would like to go and sit in the stands. I was camping in the infield last year, and that's one thing I always wanted to do is sit in the infield and camp in the infield at Daytona. I've been outside the track, but never in.
It's rolling for qualifying for the Coke Zero Sugar 400.
Keep hitting that like button for us. Hit that subscribe.
Single car qualifying, and it's a solitary lap, and the top 10 will advance to the final
44
round to
Joey
race
Gase
for pole. See who's going to start in that top spot here at the World Center of Racing.
Repair says it makes
44 of Joey
the
Gase.
boring race exciting.
31-year-old, first out on track.
Okay.
And work our way all the way down to the 45 of Tyler Reddick throughout this one-lap phase of qualifying.
Yeah, I'm thankful to see cars.
Yeah, it was just first race. We'll give them a shot.
Those summer heats built some storm
Not
clouds.
for qualifying. I wish we could. They don't supply the cams for it.
So we're going to get to see some
I wish they would.
run.
Joey Gase doing the double this weekend. Qualified 35th for an Xfinity race tonight.
He made 7 starts here at Daytona. Ran
Xfinity race will be, though.
20th.
Promise you that.
500 back in 2021.
This is an opportunity for a team like this to come to this racetrack, qualify
Yeah, I
in
saw
the
that,
race,
Nass.
and then kind of avoid the chaos.
That's right.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't think it's unrealistic to think
couldn't
we're going to
figure
have
out
chaos
Xfinity
in this
cameras?
race tomorrow night, and a team like this, and with Joey's outlook and how he approaches races, really smart driver, he can sit there and kind of stay out of trouble, find himself in the right place at the end of the race. That's why teams like this come down here, Diff. There's a chance for them to win this race or at least get a good finish.
It's always that, as we're talking about playoffs and trying to race your way into the playoffs, there's that wild card factor, isn't there, of anything can happen at a drafting track, and especially here in Daytona.
Yeah, Daniel Dye.
And all the drivers, that's at the forefront of their mind. I mean, they want to qualify well. You want to have that
worse.
Prioritized track position. It's always better if you're starting at the front, but you know that wherever you are in this field,
Waltrip will need a
anything
new
can
driver
happen
to
at
say
any
his name
stage.
5+ times.
Just a lot of the drivers will always use the phrase being smart, Steve.
51.395 in the first lap.
That's the beauty of motorsport in general. And you know, speedway
Jeff,
racing.
You can hit him.
Well, listen, speedway racing racing has changed. You know, I think there's this misnomer that it's a bingo ball and it's
Here is
random.
BJ
and you
McLeod
can
in
win
that
from anywhere.
78.
While I do think more teams have opportunity, it is not random.
BJ McLeod,
Some drivers and teams
that's
are better
78.
at this style of racing than others. Now
I like Mikey
the
Wells'
big accidents
Waltrip as well.
lend that opportunity for
Pop.
smaller teams to
Yo,
have a good
what's
run.
up, CeeLo?
And also that whole, hey, I'm going to come from 30th to 1st in the last few laps. We haven't seen that really show up either, Jeff. This is a race where you need to stay towards the front if you want to have a chance in the closing laps.
Is the veteran BJ McLeod out on track? This is his 5th appearance in Cup this year, as Joey Gaze has set the pace to chase.
Good to see BJ back at the racetrack in a Cup car.
At least it's not that
BJ
black
won a lot of late model
car
races
he
in
has.
Florida.
No
You know,
sponsors
over
on
100
it.
wins.
Hey
And
guys, how's it
it's
going?
a
Caleb, good to
example
see
of
you.
how a guy
TT,
like
what's up?
BJ, you don't recognize how successful
Welcome in,
he was
everybody.
before he got to this level, right? And recently sold his charter, now running some limited schedule races. A really fun guy, a smart guy.
I think so too, Desert Fox.
The 33 is back. And Austin Hill.
Austin
As we
Hill
take you back, not
running
that
double
long
duty
ago,
tonight.
Because this man's got a winning history here at the World Center of Racing.
His
Well,
numbers in
McDowell, that's right.
Xfinity are just
That's what I'm
so
doing.
impressive. I walked
For the
out with
pole,
him
not for the
earlier
win.
today for
I'm going to his
Xfinity
other
Series
brother.
qualifying. You know, some small talk, and we talked about speedway racing and
You
how
love
he
the
goes
schemes?
about it. And I said, man, you almost have crested that point where you're so good now, no one wants to help you. You don't bring the toughest guy to beat to the front of the field. And he laughed. He goes, well, I feel like that out there. But then I liked his attitude because basically he stated that, you know, I don't look for a whole lot of help. I figure if I'm going to have to make it happen,
Austin
I have
Hill
to
in
make it
that
happen on my
33.
own. And I appreciate
RCR's
that
got
attitude.
3
He did
cars
say
in the
he likes to
field
work with
this
his
weekend.
teammate in the Xfinity, and he'll have multiple teammates here in the Cup car.
When he says
Yeah, I like
work,
that,
you mean getting pushed by.
Yeah, that's right.
Hawaiian
That's what you
rolls, pretzels.
He's been out in the 33 3 different times this year. This is the 4th appearance. Remember, Will Brown and Ty Dillon also had their turns in the 33.
I have to give him some style credit, too, as he goes to the top of the board. Had the
Keep hitting that
Georgia
like
Bulldog
button. Keep
racing
on hitting that
shoes,
subscribe,
the
y'all.
Georgia native. I thought that was a nice little touch on the fire
Nice.
suit. Nice touch.
Nice. I
Austin
don't have a pair
Hill,
of driving shoes. I got a pair
P1.
of the Nike running shoes. Here's Dave Burns. What you got, Davo?
Daniel Hemrick down here, who's making his, or will make, his 6th start at Daytona in the Cup Series. What do you look forward to coming back here to the World Center of Racing?
Same as a lot of guys in this field, right? It's a chance to win. Man, this place is so special our sport, and
It shoes
very
Austin.
chaotic time of the year to have a race like this, which is really, really exciting. Hopefully the fans are pumped up about it. I am. Yeah, just excited to be here, and appreciate Circle, everyone on this 31 group for sticking it out all year. It's been a tough year, but when we come to a place like this, we know we have a shot, and the guys have really been building really good race cars. So yeah, no better place than to get your first opportunity to stand in victory lane.
Shout out
in
to
a Cup
Pop's
car
family.
and here
Yeah.
at the World Center of Racing. So look forward to that shot.
That would
He
be
was
the
a cool
fun of
dude.
it. His only way into the playoffs now, Diff, is to make
Rest
it
in
with
peace,
a win.
Pop.
And look,
Thank you,
while
subscribing,
he says that
Frank.
it's been a tough year, he's had a really good finishing percentage. As the youngster, the 21-year-old Parker Retzlaff puts himself in 2nd.
He's going
at
to
the
finish
moment.
2nd.
He ran a Cup race at Richmond.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Stayed out
Sheldon
of trouble
Green.
all day. Did a nice job.
You're welcome, Frank.
From Richmond to Daytona in a Cup car.
And somebody who's super excited about being here in Daytona in a Cup car is Shane Van Gisbergen. Doing the double.
SVG.
Xfinity race tonight, Cup race tomorrow.
Forgot he's in this
And
race. I forgot to
spent a
say
brief
that.
period of time
My
with Shane
preview
earlier
log.
today.
SVG in that
I love the
16,
learning
y'all.
curve. It's steep, but I'm taking it all in.
He gets those little bits of reprieve.
Double
when we go to
duty
the
for
road courses
SVG
where the
tonight.
learning curve is flipped to the other side of the garage. You know, he has so much experience, but I've loved his approach. Jeff, you and I have had this conversation a bunch. You know, he seemed to
I think it's top 10.
take what I
Go
consider
the second
the right
round.
approach, which is run every lap, right? He definitely concedes at times, positions that maybe
Love
he
this
could test,
track, y'all.
But he
Love
knows he
it.
kind of wants to get to the other side of that battle and run more laps.
I think it's more difficult for a guy like him. He's come from a series where he is used to running in the front and winning races. And to take a step back and say, all right, I got to start over, right? I
Hit
got
that
to learn
subscribe,
all of
y'all.
this
Trying to get to
over.
20,300
That's hard
here.
to do. I think it's easier for a young driver who knows he has a lot to learn, who hasn't had success. But SVG, in my eyes, has done a nice job of not overstepping his bounds and
SVG
learning as
P3.
he goes. And in the Xfinity Series, He's going to be in the playoffs. He has a ton of playoff points. He'll be a factor. And all that experience is going to matter when those playoffs start.
And just to put a period on that, where he has come from, he's got nothing left to achieve.
Yeah,
so that's why he's enjoying.
Dinger's going to be full-time in the 16 again. I'm not sure why he went back to the Xfinity
well, John
in the
Hunter
first place.
Nemechek, he has to be excited to be back on the high banks at Daytona. Second best finish of the season happened when the season kicked off here in the Daytona 500 with a 7th. He topped that later with a 6th. I think that was at Bristol. But for John Hunter, you know, it's been an uphill battle. Remember, this is a guy that made it to Cup, circled back around to the Truck Series Xfinity. Now he's back at Cup. You see the hand up by the window net for John Hunter.
Be wearing those illegal gloves, John Hunter Nemechek. Where's Joey Logano at? Check his gloves.
An average finish of just under 10th in 3 starts at Daytona, and that's amazing, right? It's hard to get through these races without having problems. A really good average finish. So another team that has to win to make the playoffs, and there's so many in the field, just like this guy, Corey LaJoie, that none of us.
Corey LaJoie, see if he can keep all 4 tires on the ground this year.
Could completely shake up the playoffs tomorrow night.
By the way, Austin Hill still holds that top spot. John Hunter Nemechek slotted into 3rd behind Ratzlaff, and then Shane Van Gisbergen over BJ McLeod, and then Joey Gase. So here is Corey LaJoie. That spectacular flip, a slide on the roof, and then for him to be able to walk away was such a relief. Great feedback for NASCAR as to the
a big one, I'm sure,
of the car, of this modern car.
Awesome, JT.
Well, if anybody was going to get upside down with the bad luck of the year.
For Trackhouse, that should be interesting.
He jokingly is like, we had a good car, and I just to find a way to get a good car upside down. And he was being a little tongue-in-cheek, but I think he's feeling it, right? He's no longer going to be back with Spire next year. They announced the driver change, and
yeah, our boy JT's been doing it for a long time.
Just when you look at the finishing numbers, they don't match, I think, the cars he's been sitting in.
Yeah.
And there's been so much blue sky excitement about Corey LaJoie and what
Larry,
he can
that's
do.
the new announcer.
This hasn't worked out, unfortunately, for him, and he's got to find a ride for next year. And this was last week. You can see how quickly that car flipped over. It surprised everybody. The great thing about this car, we can talk about the negative parts that it got up in the air, but the positive
I'm predicting P1 right here.
Look how tough the roof is. Like that, the roof is hardly caved in at all. So
P1
the
here.
Structural integrity of the car was clearly in shape. And many times with the older car, that
Put
was
it on the board here, 38.
See Gillen with a good lap right there. That car bottomed out pretty good in the middle of 1 and 2 through the bumps. And
put it on
P1 to be fast here.
Yeah, and it's hard to say because you can see his hand all the way out the window.
Well, his arm's a little longer.
You know, it's hard to say because that new window fin, but
hit that like button, trying to get 200 likes.
Been around the 49.40 to give us an idea of pace. This lap is going to eclipse that for sure. This is going to be a really good lap.
Tons of excitement around Todd Gillen. Obviously, P1 49.20, half a second faster than Austin Hill. That could be a huge, big lap right there. But you know, with him re-signing for next year, he is going to be the experienced A driver at that team.
People just don't like change.
A lot of effort's going to go to him. It's going to be fun to watch what he can do next year.
Cody Ware is on track as we join Dave. Dave, who have you found?
Bubba Wallace here getting ready to hop inside his 23 car. You do well at this place. This is kind of your vibe. How's the feeling coming in this weekend?
Feels good. Got down here yesterday, played a little golf, got to hang out with Columbia this morning, went 6:30 fishing. Caught a couple fish this morning, becoming the ultimate fisher. It's a good partnership to have. You like fishing. But it's been a good week so far. Busy week. But good to be here at Daytona. We know what tomorrow can provide, good and bad.
Michael, I don't think so. I think he's going to be right on the outside of that other car.
Just go have some fun.
Positive attitude for the 23 driver, guys.
Good stuff. Good start to the day, too.
Cody
Ware? Fish? He gave us half the story.
We'll find out.
Yeah, people don't like Denny, right, T-Van?
Some tells me Dave's going to report back.
It's all right. People don't like
Todd
change.
Gilliland leads the way. Cody Ware slots into a
Cody
provisional
Ware,
6th spot at the
6th
moment.
fastest. For him, since I've heard him commentate over 20 years, he's had his chances.
Up next, Chase Briscoe in his Stuart Haas Ford. And this race last year, this man sat on the pole.
blackfish.
Chase Briscoe coming to JGR next year.
Well done, Dave.
Chase Briscoe, you know, he is going to go to Joe Gibbs Racing next year, replacing Martin Truex Jr. That has to feel great.
Beat these guys to the punch.
Gibbs Racing. Tons of excitement about that, but a lot of work left to do. And I've been impressed with the Stewart-Haas company in general, Steve. They've not laid down. They've not quit. They are.
Bubba's going to put it on the poll, Shirley says.
Completely next year, and there's been no letdown. That's difficult. That's difficult to keep everybody pumped up, and I give credit to Chase
Jackie
Briscoe.
Stewart.
Guys like that are just trying their best to keep everybody's energy up.
So up to P2 with a 49.5, just 0.3 of a second off Todd Gilliland's time at the moment. Who is up next? Austin Cindric is on track in his team Penske Ford.
We see those twos. Any Penske fans in the house tonight?
He's found success here before.
Twos in the chat.
Great American race, the Daytona 500. Tracking quickly. We're comparing the Gase because he's the 10th. Remember, the top 10 get a chance to run again. See Cindric.
Remember to check Denny's.
You would expect him to be somewhere in those 49s.
Could be cheating.
3 Fords back to back.
I just like giving CeeLo a heck about Denny. I know, and I love it. I love it, y'all. I love it.
All going to run.
I love it.
The next 3 cars out. So they're going to have a really good idea.
If you guys didn't pick on me, I think you wouldn't like me.
Opportunity for cars outside the playoffs. Well, let's not forget Cindric inside the playoffs with that win at Gateway. You know, there's a playoff point at the end of each stages. There's a playoff bonus if you could win the race. And
RCR car on front row, he says.
Feel this pressure of the playoffs and maybe use here in Darlington.
Yeah, it's all right, Larry. It is what it is. We won't really know what happened.
It's going to be a good lap.
We won't really know the truth. They'll never tell us.
49.4 for Austin Cindric. And the scope of the season
so Cindric
P2 has not been great. So that win was the high point, and it was enough to get him into the playoffs. So, to your point, do you turn things around in the playoffs, or do you have to come into the playoffs firing?
Well, I think, you know, if I was leading this race team,
all right, let me see those 22s.
Hey,
it's Logano time.
No one believes we can, so let's prove them wrong. Let's try to be the, you know, the one that everyone's
Let me see those 22s in the chat.
Joey Logano with a normal racing glove. So remember, this is the scene.
Yeah,
the glove with the
where's your
penalizing him for from qualifying? Oh, creativity. Yeah. I mean, definitely against rules, but creative.
When it comes down to it, Denny's in the playoffs. He's just not going to win the regular season.
Placing your hand there. I mean, do you use the driving down the highway, sticking your hand out the window analogy?
Yeah, exactly. And why are they doing
exactly,
it?
Vegas.
They're trying to redirect the air to get it off of that spoiler, because the spoiler on the back of the car creates so much drag. And although
look at Joey's gloves,
creates drag,
check his gloves.
It's not as much drag as if that air can be directed around the car.
Penske cars are strong. We'll see what Ryan Blaney brings.
Here in the Dex
Here comes
imaging,
Burton.
Ford is Harrison Burton. We're going to share something with you with a special new microphone that we have got, and we take you back a week ago to Michigan, and Harrison's going to share some pretty vivid and pretty honest thoughts that he felt from behind the wheel of the 21 Wood Brothers machine. Have a listen.
Oh my God! I almost just died. Holy. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I mean,
as a
good
driver,
but I don't know. That's not going to happen.
Chastain
We know that's not going to happen.
Slapping in front of him, and you're like,
what's up, Dave?
Go? You heard him never lift.
David, what's going on?
You can't. And
that was Harrison Burton
back across,
from that wreck when Chastain went across his front bumper.
Panel. You know that's going to be an ugly wreck. Fortunately, obviously, he was overjoyed that that's not what happened.
These Aquaman gloves.
All right, so as Harrison slots into the top 5, we join Dave.
So, Diff, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is very familiar with the winning ways of a drafting track, such as Daytona. Does this feel like winning weather to you?
Yeah, I mean, I hope I feel it tomorrow. I don't really care if we win today or not. So, you know, I don't expect a whole lot out of our Kroger Camaro today, but I know the boys got me a car capable of winning the race come tomorrow night. So that's really all that we're focused on. We've been, talking all about, race strategy and race prep, and yeah, we've won here in July and one here in February, so we just need to win one more time here.
And I believe you have another, a new youngest fan of yours here at the track for the first time this weekend?
Yeah, my son Stetson's, is at the track for the first time, so we're super thrilled with that. My wife Madison is, back at the track with us, so fun family weekend here, and looking forward to putting on a good show for all the fans. And feels good to be back in Daytona. Anytime you come back to a racetrack where you've had success before, always get excited to come back.
Yeah, they play tonight, David.
Pumped about that. Diff, welcome, and let's have some fun.
How about that, Diff? A welcome from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And, by the way, don't forget, we'll be embedded with this team during tomorrow night's race for some extra special insider stories.
Well, it was nice to have Ricky.
Josh Berry, let me see those
Ricky
fours.
And myself at Monster Energy Supercross earlier this year, so as it's well known, Ricky Stenhouse is a massive Supercross fan, so it's good to see him there, and it's going to be great to see him on track here, and let's see if he can leapfrog his way into the playoffs from 25th.
He sent me a text and wanted me to let you know if you wanted diaper duty, you can come over anytime.
I've done that. I've got 2 teenagers to deal with.
Josh?
Those days are long gone.
Trying to decide what's worse, teenagers or diaper duty.
Ricky Spinhouse. That's right, Larry.
In the 4. And it's the same mission for him as it is for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to try and find that magic. Maybe be on the right side of some luck, have great track position at the right time.
Subscribe to our channel, guys,
to get that magical Daytona victory and jump your way into the playoffs with just 2 regular season races to go.
That like button for us, trying to get to 300 likes now. Here's Austin Dillon.
There has been so much going on in the Cup Series. Just so much all year, but particularly recently as we take you back to that controversial moment in Richmond.
Austin Dillon
had the dominant car, led late in the race, late yellow, brought out an overtime green-white checker finish. He got passed by the 22, then contact with the 22 and contact with the 11. He went on to win the race and kept the win.
I'll never forget his wreck at Daytona.
Kind of the accolades and the rewards of a win. No, that win is not playoff eligible, so the 3 is still looking. They had their appeal this week. Nothing changed with the penalty for the team. The spotter is back on top of the roof. His 3-race suspension reduced.
They're still
down to
talking
1.
about the Richmond. I know.
The 3 says they're going to take it to the next level appeal. We'll have to
Can't let
see
it
how
go.
that turns out.
By the way, the official wording is NASCAR represents elite motorsports, and as such, its drivers are expected to demonstrate exemplary conduct if its series championships are to be validated. In this case, a line was crossed. However, there's still another chapter to this ongoing saga. As Austin sits in a provisional 6th place at the moment, but he's got some great history here.
This was the infamous rain race down into turn 1.
Tim,
rain
what's up? Good to see you.
In front of the field, and the 3 snuck by, and then this battle with Cindric. And the closing laps went on to victory lane.
Yeah, look, I will not be surprised at all to see Austin Dillon tomorrow night in the front of this pack late in the race, and what a comeback story that would be, right? To have the win, the advantages of the win as far as making the playoffs, have that taken away, and then come here and win.
All right, here we go. McDowell. Does he go ahead of Gillen or outside of Gillen? Let's see what happens right here.
About what they'll be able to bring to this racetrack.
Well,
Michael McDowell.
This man here from Front Row Motorsports, Michael McDowell,
see those
who is also won here.
34s.
He's telling himself the same thing as Austin Dillon. I know I can do it. I've just got to do it tomorrow night to get us in the playoffs. And look at that lap time so far. It is green in the bottom right-hand corner. Michael McDowell goes to the top. Second spot, 49.2. Same time as Todd Gilliland.
Called it.
How about that?
All right, so teammates.
2
in the
for
exact same
2.
speed. Good job. Brad, at the shop preparing race cars. That is incredible.
That is incredible.
Same.
There's nothing worse than having one fast and one slow. You know, it's hard to explain.
Called
your
it, y'all.
And your sponsors,
I called it.
One can be better than the other. Now, being exactly tied, that's bringing it to a different level.
49.218.
They're teammates.
182.860 miles an hour. for both teammates.
And no surprise to see them at the front.
Who's hungry for Justin Haley's burger car?
Speed to these races. It's not surprising at all.
So here's some rowdy.
Justin Haley, a winner here at Daytona. Had a little lightning assist, but went to victory lane in a cup race. Had so much success plate racing or restricted plate racing in Xfinity.
You love the burger car?
He's
it
another
made
one
me
of those
hungry,
dark horse
Bronny.
drivers. When you talk about who could make something happen here, you know, I think it would have to, a few things would have to fall his way, but he's proven that he knows how to make the right decisions in the closing laps.
And has been very consistent this year as far as his percentage of laps run and percentage of laps finished. It is right up there. So here's Dave Burns. Dave?
Lee, nothing better than drivers right on the playoff bubble and then coming to Daytona. Ross Chastain's right in the middle of that. How you feeling?
Better now that Lee's on the team. Man, it was great to talk to you this morning, Lee. I'm super excited to hear the races back now with him on the call. Watched a lot of the track and field stuff with the Olympics, and hearing him call some of that was really cool, so glad to have him over.
Oh, Ross Chastain's a fan.
Worldwide Express Chevy, Dave, it's just about getting points, right? I can't change
Christopher Bell, let me see those
20s. I want to get as many points. I want to win Daytona, so nothing really changes right now.
Lee, I think that means, by the way, the greeting that you're allowed to make it like a track and field call to the finish if Ross is in the lead.
We'll see. We'll see.
On my qualifying lap.
Oh, on the qualifying lap. Yeah, he'll take that.
We'll get to Ross in a minute. For the moment, here's Joe Gibbs.
Interstate Batteries, Toyota.
Yeah, 3 wins on the season for Christopher Bell.
All right.
A little bit of heartbreak last year. Made it to that championship 4, had that brake failure, kind of ended his hopes premature. You know, it's one thing to not, you know, advance or win the championship, but you kind of just want to be in that final restart, right, Jeff? You want to line up next to him. He was eliminated.
Better watch out
with that
Bubba.
DNF, but
see.
He proved to me in some of the talks that
He's
week
up next.
that he
Look at
notices
Christopher
that
Bell,
and feels that
P10.
he's overlooked at times, and he kind of brought that
What's up with the
chip on
Toyotas?
his shoulder attitude, and I appreciated it, and it just didn't work out his way. But I believe he'll be back.
Here's Bubba.
Sure, could be this year.
Yeah.
Any Bubble fans in
the
house?
Don't overlook him for tomorrow night either. The last 3 races here, 2 of those he finished top 5 at this racetrack. So
Bubba,
he'll be in the
23s.
And he's dancing on that delicate line of 10th at the moment, whether we'll see Christopher Bell out again in qualifying or not. Here's Bubba Wallace.
Secondly, close to 1 and 2. It was a little interesting to run up the racetrack. I don't know if that was by design due to some of the roughness on the bottom, or just that's where the car took him.
You know, I came down here one time testing, Steve, and I ran, I said, let's work on me. Let's see if it matters. And I ran left sides on the yellow line. I ran up 3 or 4 feet. I ran up another 3 or 4 feet. And I don't think anything mattered. Like, it just didn't really make that big of a difference. So, you know, I think you're right. I think some of it is just driver just puts it where he thinks is the best. But I'm not a big believer that you have
Isn't
to
it
be
just the guys driving last going to get the fastest time? No, that's not true at all, Car.
Just from that one day that I spent, and, ran 4 different ways around this racetrack, and the only time it was slower was when I ran halfway up the racetrack, with giving up a lot of racetrack.
By the way, the 2311 Toyota of Bubba Wallace slotted into 8th place, displacing
I'll let you know who's on the
Christopher
track.
Bell, pushing him out of the 10. For now on track, here's Eric Jones.
Eric Jones.
Legacy Motor Club Toyota.
43.
This guy's won here as well.
I've been doing it since 2021, Michael.
2018. Won this race. So he's a winner here. Look at that car bounce, Steve. That thing is
Bubbles,
not
Dennis.
feeling good for the driver.
That is aggressive.
Remember, they can make adjustments.
Look at Eric
They
Jones.
just sit the back. There's these shock limiters, and they're not like bump stops.
What's up,
they don't
Kenneth
have a lot
Fox?
of squish. They're
Congratulations
pretty aggressive, and
again.
His car is sitting on.
I know you're stoked.
He gets out of the gas. I think it runs
all
back
your
so rough that
plane,
Eric
your
Jones says, "Man, I'm not going to risk
fared,
wrecking
booked everything."
this thing." That is frustrating for a team to not finish your qualifying.
It does look good, Samson.
That is amazing.
Watch that porpoise.
It is bouncing. The back straightaway is rough, but this makes it look way worse than it is.
So what's up with these Toyotas?
Yeah, whatever adjustments they made were not right. I say adjustments. Really, you show up that way and you adjust it for the race because there's no practice.
Here's Larson. Let me see those 5s.
In the HendrickCars.com Chevrolet.
So if there is a weakness to Kyle Larson's racing career, it's the speedways. And it's not really a skill set. Like, he's up front, he runs okay, but I've done a couple different or times with him in the infield, either pre-race, post-race, and he just doesn't even. It's not that he's negative.
See those fives.
It's just he's waiting for the black cloud. He's like, man, I don't know what. Every time I get in the wrong spot, make the wrong
predicted
decision,
Larson
I'm
to
gonna end up in the
P1.
wreck. Doesn't even feel positive about it.
Actually, there's a stat that we need to chase down. How many other tracks has he not had a top 5 at?
It'll be a very small list.
It has to be.
Like all around the country, not just
I don't think the
NASCAR tracks.
Toyotas are going to be
go ahead and throw
anywhere
Talladega
fast.
on the list. I don't think there's one there either, but he might have one there.
We might not see a Toyota in the top
really
10.
Good lap. He's 4th.
P4 for
As
Larson.
Ryan Preece is out on track, reminding you what went down, or what went over and over last year. This was frightening.
That car lifts
Ryan
off,
Preece,
and then
man.
as soon as he gets in the grass, digs in, starts tumbling. That was a scary wreck. Watch this thing. This is the part that
Dallas,
just wonder,
what's up?
how does a
It's
guy
Friday night.
tolerate that? You race the next week.
It's lagging?
He told me
Actually,
this
it might not
morning
be
that
on
as a
your
result
end,
of this,
because my
he has a
laptop was
new,
lagging as well, but everything else is good.
Pattern or a new trend. Every time he goes to a super speedway or a drafting track, he has a brand new helmet.
Oh.
He said, I want that thing extra snug and extra firm. And he said, if anything came of that, that's just one little kind of idiosyncrasy
Ryan Preece
that I have.
on the track, and
NASCAR
he's in the
also made some
green.
adjustments. We talked about the fin on the rear
To be in
window,
the
but
top
also
10.
The roll bar padding inside the car. Used to be multiple pieces, kind of all, adhered to the roll bar with either zip ties or some glue. Now it's many of them are physically attached into one piece. So one thing they learned about that Preece wreck, I mean, even the rearview mirror come flying out of that thing, right? So to try to keep as many of the protective pieces inside the car in a violent
Say
accident.
what's up with the
And
Fords,
the other change that
exactly.
was made was the back straightaway. You saw that grass that he was flipping through, it's all gone. So they've worked on this because of the 24-hour Daytona race in February. They couldn't get the whole thing done before the 500. They came back between then and now, and they've paved the rest of it. So that entire back straightaway apron is now pavement. That's a great thing. That is a positive to keep cars on the ground, keep them out of the grass.
Good job by Ryan Preece as well. He's provisionally 6th as we join Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
It's wide open in the gas, not the speed that they're hoping for, but this guy he'll be in the hunt as well. If he doesn't lead some laps tomorrow, I'll be shocked. He always finds his way to the front.
Thank you, Lone Wolf.
It's more than
Raiders
3
take
tenths
the
of
ice at
drift in 10th
620.
place. Bubba Wallace at the moment.
Ricky Spithouse.
And it
What's
stays
up,
that
Gen
way.
X?
I don't think
Did
they're
your
gonna
students
love that.
enjoy the
I think
show on
the
Monday?
47 was hoping for more.
Here's Dave Burns. Dave?
With
So
another guy who
Stenhouse
can win at
outside the top.
Daytona,
Here's
we
Denny.
know that. It's Denny Hamlin. But things have changed this week. Points taken away, playoff points taken away. Does that change anything that you guys do, Denny, on a day-to-day, race-to-race basis?
No, we go each week to try to win. We'll do that these next 2 weeks, and then the 10 weeks after that. It just takes away a lot of the effort and hard work we put in to get the bonus points, obviously. And obviously takes away our room for error in the playoffs.
Right, thanks, Denny. Yeah, I was explaining to me, obviously, the 10 points of the playoff points, that takes away 2 wins. That was big.
Big penalty, and just to reiterate, when I talked to Chris Gabehart as crew chief, I want to confirm that it was what we expected, which is, crew chiefs in today's world of NASCAR, you don't know what engine, that's somebody else's complete department. They put the engines in, they manage the engines, TRD rebuilds them. Someone at,
Do as
Joe
I
Gibbs
do,
makes sure the right
do
engine
as I
goes in the right
say.
car. I mean, crew chiefs have nothing to do with that part of it. Now, that doesn't change that they're the ones listed for the penalty. It is Gabehart's responsibility per the entry blank, as we soon know Gregson clock in at 9th. But it is, it was just a crushing blow, I think, for the both of them. But I appreciate
Gregson
NASCAR
on,
having to make the rule, and I appreciate
wrap here.
TRD's stance. They made it very clear that, hey, this isn't a Joe Gibbs Racing issue. This was our own issue, and they felt like
Keep
they
hitting
let
that
down their
subscribe,
partner, but they
keep hitting that
also have
like
taken their
button for
partner
us.
to a lot of wins with those engines.
Yeah, Zane Smith on track right now. The
Trying to get
first
to
thing I thought
300
about
likes.
when I heard about that penalty was Mark Martin.
953 of
Think
us
about
here.
Mark Martin never won a championship.
Where's Stupid Roofer
Remember,
at
he
talking
won
about
a
the
race
Fords?
at Richmond, and the manifold,
Here's
the
Zane
spacer
Smith, Gregson
between the
the
manifold and
ninth.
the carburetor was found to be legal. It wasn't too high. It was that it was welded together. And didn't really make a performance difference, but the rule was the rule. He could have won the championship that year. He didn't win it. Now, fast forward to Denny Hamlin, what I believe is best opportunity to win a championship this year. Will that penalty somehow throughout the playoffs, will that loss of points prevent him to go into Phoenix with a chance to win the championship? That's not history you want to repeat.
No. Zane Smith, just a couple of tenths of a second outside, pushing his way into the top 10.
Zane Smith,
this driver and
11.
This car and team have had some really good positive momentum.
Oh, 17th for Zane Smith.
At 17th, as we join our own DJ Dale Jarrett on the Peacock pit box. DJ, what do you make of qualifying so far?
Make Doug Yates' horsepower. It looks like it's taking a hold, and I'm very familiar with that. And this was something that his dad, Robert Yates, always took a lot of pride in. When you got the Daytona, Talladega, they wanted to be at the top of the list all the time. And of course, it's Roush Yates engines now, but Doug's in charge of all of that. And you know, this is just a special place for them. Obviously, they do a good job with the Ford cars also to utilize that horsepower. It's going to be tough to beat them this weekend. If you look at that, and a driver, you know, you talked about doing the right things and
Watermelon,
affect Denny and with the points things. Ross Chastain is another you look at. It just seems he had himself in a great position last week, had the incident that happened there on the very last lap, cost him some more points. It seems like every time they get going forward, they take another step back. Have to right things, and this is a tough race to get yourself in position and continue that position all through the 400 miles that it takes to complete this.
I'll tell you, Diff,
Watermelon.
to add on to what DJ is saying, I've been lucky enough to tour the Roush Yates engine facility a couple times. They have checkered flags listing, you know, they're kind of down all the hallways. All the checker flags, they have one. And they all are uniform and all framed the same except for Daytona 500 flags. Those Daytona 500 flags are in a gold frame. It's a different look. You know, this place, Speedway Racing, you know, DJ has put a couple Daytona 500 flags up. You know, they know what racing here means. And I think that's why you see it. And so doesn't the engine manufacturer here for this Alex Bowman car. Hendrick Motorsports takes the same sort of pride.
So
Bowman, Senio Kid, your boy.
At a 49-44, Alex Bowman right now does not have enough pace to be in the top 10. Now that, you could say, hey, you're not providing Alex Bowman the same cars. It's not good stuff. But there's different approaches to this race. This race provides opportunity to try to build the fastest race car, the fastest setup, or
48.
try to provide the driver with the best handling car, where he can be aggressive and do the things he wants to do. So clearly different car from the 48 to the 5, but that doesn't mean that it's not intended.
Bowman 13.
We've seen this since the beginning of time down here, Steve. Sometimes fast cars don't race well. Sometimes the guys that qualify at 25th when the night's over, they're sitting there with a chance to win.
It is a Ford-dominated top 10 at the moment. Only 2 Chevys in that top 10 in Larson and Austin.
Aaron Jones qualified. I guess he didn't qualify. He didn't run. He didn't finish. Now Carson Hocevar.
Very similar to his teammate Zane Smith. These guys too have got some good momentum at the moment. Speaking with Luke Lambert this morning, he likes the way that these guys are going. And just building that positivity with each and every race as we get closer and closer to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Carson has that it factor. And when I talk it factor for race car driver, I just mean
Gibbs will get P1.
Kind of raw speed. Because all cars have
Hocevar not going to be in the top 10
issues.
here.
All cars get on the right and wrong brakes of pit strategy. But there are some drivers that just find a little bit more speed, either in their skill set, their comfort, their communication, or all three. And Carson, Jeff, in my mind, at 21 years old, he has a lot to learn. He'll tell you he has a lot to learn. But what he knows is what the car is telling him and how to drive that car. And he always seems to find what I think is optimal speed. Now, today in qualifying, 26th so far. That's not gonna. They're not gonna love that. But his teammates are 23rd
for
and
Carson
19th.
Hocevar.
So all 3 Spire cars down the grid a little bit.
Yeah, Luke Lambert's done a nice job.
I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year, though. What's up, 97 Cobra?
Helping him learn this series diff, how to be a better race car driver. And I think Carson's done a nice job of taking that input, right? And look, you can want to help somebody, but if they don't want to be helped, you can't. And I feel like that's a really good team between that driver and crew chief.
So many storylines, but what if Martin Truex Jr. in his last year finally knocks the goose egg out of the Speedway racing column? I mean, he's done everything else in the sport.
It would be great, wouldn't it? And you think about this as his last qualifying session as a full-time Cup driver at Daytona. and it would be tremendous if he could grab a win here tomorrow night, head into the playoffs. He's the lead as far as the non-race winners. So far in the top 16, he's leading on points. As far as that category is concerned, they could confirm that by grabbing a win tomorrow night. His crew chief, James Small, said that's certainly what we're trying for. I spoke with him briefly this morning as Martin is just outside that top 10 in 11th. There he is, reigning Cup Series champ Ryan Blaney. And how about this win at Iowa? It was terrific to see the Cup cars in corn country in the heartland, and this was a big one.
I know, but okay, it's all good, man. It's all good. Blaney's going to get the top 5 here.
Ryan's gotten better and better every year. I feel like the turning point in Ryan's career was the championship that he didn't win. Like in the playoffs, he made some mistakes back-to-back. It kept them from transferring to the next round of the playoffs. Since then, Steve, this guy's been spot on. And, you know, that's how we learn, right?
Yeah.
And still a young race car driver with a great future ahead of him.
You know what Ryan does that really impresses me off the racetrack is he finds this way to be authentic while fitting into that Penske mold, right? There's an expectation of Penske drivers.
He's going to be in the top here.
In corporate,
keep
and the
in that like button, keep in that subscribe.
That from sports car to Indy car. I know you see it at the Indy 500, right, Diff? And he fits that at times, but he still does it the Ryan Blaney way, right? He has his
E9
own
for Blaney.
feel. His fans like, I think, his authentic approach.
I thought he'd be up there with Logano and Cindric.
He has, truly has.
And when I say that,
E9 so far.
He conducts himself off the racetrack like you just said, and whatever people have asked him to do, he's done it. Yep. Like he has represented.
So Eric Jones did
NASCAR
not qualify.
In a great way. He's just done a great job of winning that championship, number one, but then understanding how important that role is as a champion. Everybody looks up to you.
Here in the Coke Zero Sugar 400, here is the Coca-Cola Cup for Daniel Suarez. Race winner this year. He's locked into the playoffs. And how far can he go?
Quite the year. Race win, married, citizen, contract extension.
Suarez, 99. I put those Coca-Colas.
Yeah.
You think Denny's fine gets reduced? We'll see.
Not a great lap right here, but you know, much like his teammate Chastain down in 17th right now.
Let's go.
Shocking. You mentioned the Ford domination at the top, right?
Yeah.
We have 9 Fords inside the top 10. The only exception, Kyle Larson in 4th. 0 Toyotas.
Suarez ran a 49.76. Chastain a 77. So we talk about cars.
All right, where's my chases?
Shops. Almost identical speeds.
Suarez.
Well, Ford's won the last 6 drafting polls. McDowell the last 2.
It's P16 for Suarez.
Fords continue. See if
all right, Chase.
Jump up there.
Let's see what you got.
Larson.
Getting down to the last handful of cars once Chase Elliott completes his
see
initial
those
qualifying
nines.
run.
Georgia
So
Shine
listen,
dropping
we talked to
them.
Chase earlier in the garage. We talked a little bit of Olympics. I didn't have skateboarding on the list, but of
Keep
all
subscribe,
Olympic
keep it out
events,
like Bud
I
Force.
really enjoyed the skateboarding. I was kind of taken by that.
Me too. Me too. And he's keen to go and be a spectator at a Winter Olympics.
His hand isn't just out the window; it's on the door top. All right. It's like his radio's broken, and he's telling you it's loose. That's
awesome, Eric.
Wasn't the door top loose?
I'm loose.
Yeah. Well, actually, the roof more than the door top. Look at it out there.
It's close. He's in the green. He may be able to squeeze his way in, and does. Chase Elliott, car 9, position 9.
9 for Chase Elliott.
With still the likes of Hamlin and Kyle Busch and Chris Buescher to come, and several others. Tyler Reddick will be the final.
Let's go,
one
Denny.
to go.
Levin's in the chat.
So
Levin's
we heard
in the
from
chat.
Denny Hamlin a little earlier with Dave Burns. We go back to Bristol and his win, and this is the engine that's at the centerpiece of the controversy and the penalty.
You also have to remember how wild of a race this was, and Denny Hamlin's experience really came through in this race. So many problems with tires, and he found a way to make it happen. That was a you can just tell.
Joshua
like,
says rowdy.
Like
Thank you, Ziggy.
I won late model races back when I was 20 years old, and that felt like this.
Sounds
and
good.
I got the
We ain't going anywhere
experience
anytime
that
soon.
took advantage of it. So a big blow to this team, this point penalty.
And just to circle back, that engine at Bristol after the win wasn't torn down by NASCAR because it was a fresh engine, still had miles on it. So they seal it. He raced it then to a 4th place at Darlington in the spring. At that point, it was mileaged out. That's when it should have been inspected. Miscommunication or something internal in the Toyota camp. I don't want to speculate, but either way, the engine went back to Costa Mesa, rebuilt, and not until it was returned to their North Carolina facility did they realize we have misstepped here. They let NASCAR know, and that's why it was this week that we found out about this penalty.
And if you wonder why there's a sealed engine rule, it's simply a cost savings, right? There's you know, these teams can run these engines up to 3 races, and that's a massive savings in money, and it doesn't affect competition on track whatsoever. So anywhere you can save some money, Steve, for teams, and it not hurt competition, that's a great thing to do. That's why
Rowdy, let me see those 8s.
Trying to run engines more than
Where's
one
my
engine.
Rowdy
What
Fred?
would this guy's win do if he could be first across the line tomorrow night?
Be unreal. Here he is, Kyle Busch, coming off a top 5 finish last
Let me
week.
see my Rowdy Fred.
So got a little bit of momentum, and he too could leapfrog his way into the playoffs with a win tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Be close to making the top 10. Looking good right now. Still a lot of cars to go after him, though.
It was green when he came
Rowdy
to the line.
P10
and Busch just
for
slides
Rowdy.
in to that provisional 10th spot.
All right. Rowdy
And
P10.
unfortunate, when you say there's cars left, there's 2
Here's Busher.
RFK Fords.
Here's another guy who knows the road to victory lane at the World
P10
Center
for
of Racing.
Kyle
Chris
Busch.
Busher in the 17.
Last year's winner.
Teammate car owner pushing him. Brad Keselowski. Brad got tired of seeing that 17 win. Decided to get some himself.
I think Brad might be the best pusher. Either Brad or Joey. I'm not sure which one, but it just visually jumps out at you when they get behind a car, what they're able to do.
Busher is currently 15th in the playoff standings, and he's plus 16 above the cut line. So it's still a pretty precarious position. He would like to confirm his spot in the playoffs here tomorrow night, and he's getting pretty close to pushing his way into the top 10 as well.
And I think that position is even more emotional.
Busher,
for the 17 because they've
not
been in
top
for most of
10.
the season, right? So if you sneak out right
Yeah,
at
he's
the
still
end,
on the pole.
It's even a bigger
Yep.
letdown. Like, how
Sorry,
did
y'all.
we lose
Down
this
here.
gap? How did we lose
Front
this
row
cushion that we
motorsports.
had?
That's all they do at Daytona.
That's a bullet dodge by the aid of Busch.
Yep. So it's a little bit of a different story for the other driver from Roush Fenway, Keselowski. It's Brad Keselowski in the 6. We head to Darlington next week, and we look back.
We'll be here for
at
Darlington
earlier
next
in the
week,
year.
y'all. Darlington next
Phenomenal
week.
memories for this veteran.
Think about the challenge Brad Keselowski wanted to take on. Roush Fenway Racing had been struggling for a while. Deep history of winning, had been struggling. Brad saw an opportunity. That's Brad's personality. He sees positives. Saw an opportunity, teamed up with Jack Roush, the Fenway group, and now is taking this car back
Bad
to victory
Brad.
lane. And
We see those
not only this
sixes.
car, but Busher, his teammate.
And when he speaks to that organization, Jeff, he appreciates the history of Roush and then Roush.
P11.
But he's not afraid
So
to
all
point
we
out
got
it's now
left
Roush,
is
Fenway,
Ty
Keselowski.
Gibbs,
Not
Willie
to
B,
kind of
and
beat his
Tyler
own
Reddick.
drum, but to tell you, it's almost a new team.
The
right?
6
When he
never
joined,
quits. That's right.
It was more than just him, right? They made some personnel changes, same building, same ownership, other than Brad. But I have to give him credit. It's tough to turn such a big ship.
And the time it takes. The
Yeah.
time, effort, the energy, and still drive the way he's done.
Yeah,
it.
they are, Kenny.
That is multitasking at the highest level.
So Kyle Busch has seen the two RFK Fords come and go, Busher and Keselowski. Here is 21-year-old Ty Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs.
From JGR.
Where you at, Eric
There's
Church?
Ty, there's William Byron and Tyler Reddick to come in this first round of qualifying.
I try to look at all the cars from what it would look like from a
54s
spotter
for
standpoint, and
Eric
this one's a little
Church.
hard for me to pick out good-looking race car, but just the colors, we'll see how it pops under the lights.
No Toyotas in the top 10 in qualifying, and that's not unusual. They haven't been the best qualifying cars. Daytona, Talladega.
Keep hitting that subscribe. Keep hitting that like button for us.
They will be roaring to the front.
First one, Martin Truex Jr. all the way in 16th.
1,000 folks in here. We should have like 500 likes.
More
Let's
than
go,
2
y'all.
tenths
Hit the like
off.
button for us.
And that to that top 10 cut line. So then there's just 2.
He is,
And
Willie
here
B.
he is, the Daytona 500 winner, William Byron. We take you back to February earlier this year. Highly dramatic finish. And those 2 Hendrick Chevrolets were in the right spot at the right time. The teammates coming across the line virtually side by side.
Remember, Toyotas don't set their car up for qualifying. They set their car up for racing.
You're gonna get to test your
So,
green, white, checkered.
this right here.
Finish under caution rules here. I think tomorrow night. I mean, these races are so intense. Which I don't care who wins, but I love when they make it all the way back to the line because especially
No, he didn't hit the wall.
Some of the closest finishes
But-
ever. And I just think that the fans, there's nothing like when
qualified
they come
18.
roaring off 4 into the trial.
Here's Willie B.
You have that defined winner right here at the start-finish line.
Come on,
I think
keep Rowdy in the top
last week was big
10.
for this team. They were not running well. We're not finishing well, rather. And it was starting to go the wrong way, Steve.
Oh, I'm picking
And-
Desert Fox. I have it as my dark
you know,
horse.
They had that problem before where they get in the summer and they just don't have the speed. Having a good week last week and what could be a good week, a good night tomorrow night, I think is positive energy for this team, and they need it.
So Byron pushes his way into
First,
the top
second, and
10,
third. Wow,
pushes Kyle
Jamie.
Busch out, and this is the final
Byron
car in the
hits Kyle
initial
Busch
round
out.
of qualifying. Here comes Tyler Reddick.
And now my spotter theory, this is my guy
A
right
points
here.
leader.
There's not another car with this color, money line on board. They got that teal, I guess. Can I call it teal? Is that official?
Aqua, yeah.
Okay, all right.
No one's going to
turquoise.
correct you.
I mean, I could pick, this one I could pick out of the group.
I mean, Trish will, but
Pin that like button for us.
What a
Tyler
race.
Reddick here.
Last week we saw just so many different cars that we thought could run well. Bubba Wallace had the car, and then at the end, fuel mileage and all these conversations, and Tyler Reddick just went up there and took it. Right in the last 20 laps of that race or so, he just proved that he had the most raw speed. The draft didn't matter. He could drive away from the front of the field.
And is he the favorite to win this championship? Has he got himself to that
My money's
point?
on McDowell, but I want Larson.
You know, I think it's a real argument
See
you
what
can make
happens.
that this guy has quietly become the favorite.
No top 10 for Tyler Reddick, but there is no other driver over the last 6-7 races that has the kind of form of this guy. We take you back a week ago to Michigan, actually just Monday. Remember, with the rain delay, and had to come back on Monday, and Tyler Reddick picked up his 2nd win on the season, and he is in strong form at the moment.
Still have
Just didn't
symptoms
have
from
it.
moderate to severe
But thank you guys
ulcerative
so much for
colitis or
tuning in
Crohn's
on the go with
disease after
CeeLo.
a
Appreciate everybody. In the pinned message link is the link to the Xfinity race. Make sure you guys do that. And then the ones, if you just want to hang right here, you're going to be redirected right over to the next race. So make sure you go over there, hit the like button for us, hang out. We're going to have the same thing, audio from the USA Network. We're going to have the in-car cameras. We're going to have 3 in-car cameras like we did Monday. If you were here for Monday's race, you had a great time. We had a blast. You had over 5,000 people here at the end. We'd love to have you hang out here with us as well tonight under the lights at Daytona for the Xfinity race, the Wawa 250. So presented by Coca-Cola. So make sure you're right here with us. Don't go anywhere. Share the stream out. Have some fun. And make sure you're hitting that like button and smashing the like. It's been a pretty busy day at work, so I wasn't able to push it on a lot of our social media. So share it out, y'all. Let everybody know. I'm going to go live at 6 p.m. Central. Pre-race ceremonies will probably start around 6:15. So originally I had it set for 6:15, but we're going to go at 6 p.m. Central. So I'll take a little break, reset everything, and have everything ready for you guys when it comes right back. This is the only place you want to hang out right here tonight. The only place. This is going to be fun right here. Hang out. We're going to have 3 cameras going. Boom, 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 boom. Have a lot of fun. Yes, sir, Desert Fox. All right, let's see who is going to get it. So Eric Jones does not qualify. So the top 10 will move on here to second round. And that is Todd Gillen, Michael McDowell, Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, Austin Cindric, Ryan Preece, Josh Berry, Chase Briscoe, William Byron, Chase Elliott. Kyle Busch just misses it, so he will start on the inside row, I believe, for the race tomorrow, Saturday. We'll have the same thing on Saturday as well for the Coca-Cola, the Coke Zero Sugar 400. That's hard to say. Maybe I should do that there. So let's see here.
To bring the triumph.
Nope, not ready yet. 182 miles an hour. So there's your top 10. Pin message linked. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you look at us over there. Hit the like button for us. We're only at 300 likes. Let's see if we can get to 400 likes. There's 900 folks in here. See if we get to 400 to 500 likes for this stream. Let's see. The race is Saturday night. Yes, Gen X, the Coca-Cola is.
Getting ready to go for the pole. You know, in a lot of cases where we have 2 rounds of qualifying, you can kind of say, okay, who has saved their tires? Who can get the most out of their tires? This is going to be settled between Todd Gilliland, Michael McDowell from Front Row Motorsports. I'm sorry, you can't make up the difference of a 1/10 and a half here just by doing something. But those 2 drivers tied in their original runs. So who is going to be able to come out of that 1/10, 100th of a second it might take to get the pole? We'll see in just a few minutes. Come back for the final round of qualifying.
All right, there's your top 10. Hit the like button. RFK Front Row. Lucas says, all right, from this top 10, who do you have on the pole? I'm still sticking with FRM on the pole. Todd Gilliland, Michael McDowell, Front Row. Book it. Solid. It's over. I'm telling you right now. Unless Joey Logano pulls some strings here and brings back his run that he had in the Daytona 500 qualifying, we'll see what happens. But rain tomorrow, taking bets. We'll see, Nicole. Fingers crossed. But I think the weather looks pretty good. But all day. We have all day. We have lights, at least here. We have lights, so we can actually do something. But we'll see how it goes. Not a single Toyota sliced bread is going to make toast out of the competition. Now, remember, like I just said, Toyotas don't set their car up for qualifying at these big tracks here. They set their car up for racing. So that's why you don't see any of those Toyotas there. But Barry for the pole, T-Van says. Staying the same, Billy Bowl says. 5 always and forever, Tracy says. Corey says Bush. Well, he's going to start P11 no matter what. That's a good prediction. I'm with you on Michael McDowell. Yeah. Michael McDowell, I'm saying Todd Gilliland. I think Todd Gilliland beats out his running mate, and they're on the front row, though. I want Todd Gilliland on the pole. He is also my dark horse to make things in the playoffs crazy for the NASCAR Cup Series, to make next week crazy. One time new winner here will make things crazy, but of course I got to pick Denny, considering all the stuff that's happened to him this week. But Denny and then Todd Gilliland are my picks for this race on Saturday night. So make sure you guys are checking out the preview vlog that I dropped today around 2:45 or so Central. So make sure you check that out and check out that. Tells you a little bit about the stats of the races coming up. And then also tomorrow, we're going to be bringing you truck practice and qualifying tomorrow from the Milwaukee Mile. So we'll be having that as well, plus the race on Sunday. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Right here is the only place you want to be for NASCAR on the go at CeeLo. Bad thing, Toyota had 3 together, so it'll be hard for them to get together to make a draft run. Either drop back, and that could happen. You drop back and then go from the back. I mean, remember what happened, though, at Talladega, right? What happened in Talladega? They were 6 together, and what happened? Crash. So hopefully they don't do anything like that. All right, so just waiting on it to come back here. But thank you guys so much for hanging out here on the Go at CeeLo. Like I said, we'll have live coverage in the pin message for the Xfinity race. Make sure you bring that too, and we're going to have fun. Hamlin FedEx paint scheme, pretty cool. Something a little different. Yeah, it's a little different, Davey. Looks pretty good. Let's see. David says 24 for the pole and Hendrick 1, 2, 3 for qualifying. Let's go, Willie B. We'll see. 3 Chevys and the rest are Fords here at Daytona. All right.
Here in Daytona at the World Center of Racing, pressure cooker isn't a strong enough adjective. The pressure really is on with just 2 regular season races to go in the NASCAR Cup Series. before we
Ty
go
wins
into
both
playoff
stages. Ty
mode.
pushes Denny to a
Before
win. Come
we get
on,
to that,
CeeLo.
we've got
That's
one
right,
more
man.
round, the top 10 of qualifying to come. And tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern here on USA, you've got Countdown to Green for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the Wawa 250, powered by Coca-Cola. Chandler Smith starts on the pole for that 100-lap race tonight, which you'll see at 7:30 Eastern.
Yeah,
and
there's a
tomorrow,
second
join us
round.
for Countdown to Green at 7, and then 7:30 p.m. we go racing. 2 to go. And just to remind you of that pressure situation, here are the updated playoff standings for you. With
Through
here
that,
and
Michael.
Darlington next weekend, drivers in yellow confirmed they've locked their way into the playoffs. The pressure cooker is over there on the right in the white and red section.
Definitely a pressure cooker. Nobody is safe. And there are a lot of names that aren't on this page that can win this race tomorrow. This is a pressure-filled event, Steve.
Well, that's the thing, right? The finish line can move. A new winner. Next thing you know, Ross Chastain can gain points and be bumped out of the playoff standings.
Will qualifying play a role in that, a part in that? We'll find out next. Top 10 coming up.
All right, top 10. Help us get to 20,300 tonight. We'll see if that'll be our goal over there for the Xfinity race as well. 20,300. We'll see if we can move on from there. Our goal is 21K by the end of this month. That is our goal. We got one more race to go before the end of this month. Well, it's actually the weekend of the first day of the month. So this is the last race of August, but we want to see if we can get as much as we can get here on our friends to join us. As it's been a great community all season long. We've done every race on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, except the Nashville when I was there. And then we've done Xfinity, we've done trucks races, we've done all the NASCAR qualifying and practice. So this is your great channel here. Make sure you subscribe to us and hit that like for us. Show us your appreciation. 824 people here. Show us your appreciation for that. Hey, slow down on the subs. Let the rest of us catch up. I know, man. I just shake my head sometimes in the way it rolls like that does. But I'll be at Darlington September 1st. I've always wanted to go, Ricky, to Darlington. I've always wanted to go. I've really always wanted to go. Eventually you'll get there, but we'll see. America, Tim says. Congrats, man. Channel is awesome. I appreciate it, dude. Make sure you check out my man, Pure Adrenaline Sports. If you're a big Mets fan, he's a great job. Does play-by-play for the Mets, all New York sports. So make sure you check him out. Not Yankees, though. He's a Mets guy. CeeLo does the best NASCAR stream. He's there. He's here, y'all. Just hit that like. It's free. That's right. Free to do, man. Subscribes and likes is free to do. Make sure you help us out. I love the Southern 500. It should be fun. And in the end, and then also to end, it's the last race to get into the playoffs. And especially if somebody wins here, it's going to be someone new wins here. First timer, it's going to be something next weekend. So, but we'll be bringing you everything for Darlington next weekend. So make sure you're here with us too as well. So I hit the like or I crash you like Austin Dillon, Tim says. Crash you like Austin Dillon. Just waiting on to come back here. I'm hoping for a Daytona sweep by the 24.
Riddle. So many grateful graduates of that institution. But we are here for one reason and one reason only as we edge closer to the playoffs.
You're welcome, Donald.
Welcome back.
Here's Chase. Let me see those chases.
Steve Letarte, Dave Burns bringing you this qualifying along with our Hall of Famer Dale Jarrett on the pit box. Let's go. There are 7 Fords, 3 Chevys in this top 10 qualifying. Here is the first Chevy. It's Chase Elliott.
Reverse order, slowest to fastest from their first round time. So Chase Elliott had clocked in at 10th.
Jake dropping those 9s.
5.54. We'll see. I don't know. I can make an argument that you're going to go slower because the engine maybe has temperature. I could argue that you maybe go faster because the wheel bearings and the drive line and the transmission or transaxle has temperature. Let's just see.
Crashed the leader twice on the last lap. 25 points of the trophy. But you
Hold
make
the
a
wheel
mistake,
as smooth as you
75
can.
points.
Get up
Exactly.
to speed as quickly as you can. Don't miss a shift. Maximize RPMs.
As I said, Lloyd
kind of a
says
lap where you have to
they're
make sure
trying
you
to
just don't
scare
make a
people.
mistake.
That's all. And they figured they could do it to
Pretty calm
Denny.
day by Daytona
and open some eyes.
You know, sometimes, Diff, we would talk about how
Suzanne,
a blustery
thank you
day
so
could
much.
affect, you know,
Hope you
lap
feel
time
better.
from one car to the next. While there is a little bit of breeze, this would be a pretty good testing day, Jeff. You'll be able to learn a lot in these conditions.
Look at his hand. You talked about it earlier. You can see those yellow gloves. His hand's all the way on the A post.
Let's see what kind of time Chase Elliott posts for everybody else to chase.
49.518.
49.5.
Just a little quicker than he
Thank you,
ran
California Days.
first time.
Just by a few hundredths of a second. As his teammate William Byron rolls out on track now.
See if we get to 400 likes for this qualifying stream.
First round of qualifying with Gilliland and McDowell.
Hope Denny Hamlin
Joey
wins
Logano,
tomorrow, but I
top
feel like
three.
Bad Brad.
Let's see what William Byron,
What's up?
who won
Like
the
this,
Daytona
like-
500 earlier this year in February, what can he do in this top 10?
Kind of see the different setups in the race cars going down the back straightaway where it's rough. How they bounce across those bumps. They all look a little bit different.
Go Larson, OJ.
Jeff, you and I even took a little evasive action down the backstretch and went across
Really
the new
big.
pavement diff where they took the grass out. And I can say it's smoother than the grass, and the curbs are actually removed from the bus stop for the Rolex, but there's still some seams that would be a bumpy ride. You don't want to be down there on purpose. Well, there you go. That's a tenth of a second.
Back to you, Ricky A.
49.43
Holly, what's
for
up?
William Byron. All right. So leapfrogs his teammate. Next
Willie
up,
B
Chase
on the
Briscoe.
pole.
And the Stewart Haas Ford.
Two top 10s at
Chase
Daytona.
Briscoe.
Good lap so far.
Yep.
Tracking in the green. Heading in the right direction so far for Chase Briscoe.
A lot of pride in qualifying at Daytona and Talladega. It's really a team sport, and it shows here because the driver's job is to not mess it up, right? The team brings the speed at this racetrack.
Right now he's on the pole,
so
Brian.
much pride in being the fastest.
Right now he is.
Nice work. 49.398 for Chase Briscoe to go to the top.
Briscoe.
Teammates to come in Josh Berry and Ryan Preece.
We get to
And let's
20,000,
get to Josh right now.
2250 on the subscribes. Help us get there, y'all.
7th time he's been in this top 10 this year. It's been a solid year for the four.
Berry.
Let's see what he can produce here.
That no one talks about.
It's always fun to watch the battle within a team. Stewart, our teammate, as you mentioned it, you just want to be the fastest, right? And that's your different plan. Sometimes it's a different idea about what it's going to take to win this race tomorrow night, and that can affect the speed a great deal. But if you both have the same idea, build the fastest race car that you can, who did it best?
This is so close. We're talking thousands, 8 thousandths of a second.
And remember earlier, the teammates from Front Row Motorsports posted the identical speed, identical time as Josh Berry leapfrogs his teammate.
Look at
Chase
Josh
Briscoe to go to
Berry.
the
I
top.
see you, Josh
Oh my
Berry.
gosh, by 1,000th of a second.
He destroyed
I see
him.
you.
A thousandth of a second. That's wild.
Yeah, grab a stopwatch and see how fast you can start and stop it, right? You're gonna be
All right,
measuring
Ryan
in the
Preece.
hundreds, maybe the tenths.
I was going to say. You're pretty good if you can do it within 100.
Desert Fox just did a
All right,
bad
let's see
team.
it.
California
Let's see what
Days. Thank you
Ryan
for
Preece
subscribing,
can
man.
produce here in
Appreciate
this
you.
battle of the teammates. Good start in the green so far.
we talk about Stewart-Haas racing 3 of them in this final 10, and this team hasn't quit. You know, they're clearly shut down at the end of this year, but to bring speed like this to Daytona shows you that they've not given up. They're still bringing effort.
Up by a couple of hundredths of a second at the moment. Finish line in sight for Ryan Preece. Can he?
What's Preece going to do next year? Maybe Xfinity? I don't know.
To the provisional pole. You betcha he can.
Ryan Preece.
49.36.
What's the deal with these Haas cars?
Across the 3 Stewart-Haas Fords, but Preece the best on top at the moment.
41.414. No one saw that coming.
Let's keep that Ford thing
T-Van
going.
said, I called Barry. Okay.
This Team Penske's Austin Cindric.
Only one Chevrolet in these next 5 cars to go.
So far, the orders remain very close as far as comparing to their first run to their second.
Night later.
All a little faster, but continuing to best each other. Cindric wants that trend to continue, but the lap time is trending the wrong direction for that.
Yeah, it's just off by 0.05 of a second. The margins are super tight.
Lost his pace from the first qualifying run.
And that is staying in the red for now as Austin Cindric comes to the line.
I would have thought all 3 Haas cars.
5th. So just ahead of Chase Elliott, but behind William Byron. All right, so that leaves Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, and Todd Gilliland as the final
for Kyle Busch always. That's right, Brett.
We got to answer your question.
Starts 11th.
About tracks where he.
Thanks for getting us to 20,250, y'all.
That's right.
Thank
so
you
the
so much.
stat group coming together. There are 3: Iowa with 1 start.
Yeah.
Daytona Road Course with 1 start.
Yeah.
And the Daytona High Banks with 20 starts. So this is the gleaming standout.
Is that going to change tomorrow night?
I don't
Jeff, come on.
It's not David Hobbs,
Tim.
Tim.
Averages.
I was going to say no.
But look,
I don't think so, Michael.
You know the beauty for Kyle Larson
I don't think he's going to leave RCR.
I mean, I'm trying to be ugly. Of course he wants to win this race, but so much pace everywhere else.
Well, Daytona is the home of the Daytona 500.
Well, that's the one.
And so that is on everyone's list.
Edges his teammate as Kyle Larson posts the 6th best time in this top 10 run.
All right, Logano.
He's a guy who knows how to get to victory lane here. Here's Joey Logano. In this Logano, McDowell, Gilliland run. Has Joey got something for Ryan Preece?
And with Larson's lap, we're confirmed now. We know it's going to be a blue oval front row for sure. They hold the top 3. They could sweep the top 5 if they could get all in front of Byron.
Oh, no one has run as fast as the
I
2
think so too, Desert. I picked it. J-Lo.
It would shock
What's
me
up,
if
Craig?
they can't end up on the front
Yeah,
row
no
with the gap they
Toyotas.
had in that first
Not
run.
one. I think the highest was Bubba in 9th, or no, P19, I think.
What's this produced?
He
to
won.
The top goes Joey Logano, 49.358, and edges Ryan
He
Preece.
won.
49.35.
Still not fast
There
as
you go, a little
FRM.
faster, but fast enough to get that top spot.
All right, let's see what he can do.
2. And the 2 teammates from Front Row Motorsports. First up, it's Michael McDowell.
Already faster.
Well, we know already with Logano's 35, this is a track record for the next-gen car here at Daytona. Just a question of who's going to hold it at the end of the day.
Finish probably Busher.
I mean, a 1/10 of a second
I'm
faster,
going Gillen for the pole.
halfway down the
That's
back
what I said at the
straightaway.
beginning. What's up, promo code?
And that is an amazing amount of speed.
Well, there's 15 100ths from the current 1st to the current 8th. and McDowell is going to better that gap from first to second.
This is a monster lap. We've been talking thousandths and hundredths of seconds. Now Michael McDowell's taken it up to a bigger chunk of more than 2/10 of a second. McDowell to the top. Wow! How about that?
49.13. Target is set. Thought he'd get to the 48. Just missed it by a little.
Travis Peterson, the crew chief, gives him the update. Whenever the 34
he just beat the first one.
For the last 2 polls. We'll see.
Here you go, Todd Gillen. Give it to us, baby. Pickle car.
First round was impressive. 1 car left.
Todd Gilliland to take the fight to his front row motorsports teammate Michael McDowell.
Steve, you talked about having cars, if you were a spotter, that you'd like to be able to see.
Come on,
this
baby.
is one of them. The pickle
Give
car
me a prediction here.
Certainly couldn't miss that one.
Yep. Oh, Grillo Pickles. I have a college-bound youngster who's a big fan. Matter of fact, I think I might have bought the hood or the quarter panel.
There's only 0.03 of a second in it between the teammates, Michael McDowell and Todd Gilliland, for a front row motorsports, front row ownership of this Coke Zero Sugar 400 tomorrow night. 0.07 of a second adrift. Gilliland to the line, can't quite match his teammate, but it's tight, and it is.
Hey, I at least predicted the front FRM on the front row.
McDowell and Gilliland dominate qualifying here in Daytona.
They don't call themselves front row motorsports for nothing.
The belief that he can win tomorrow night. He's won the big one here. He'd like to win tomorrow night and get into the playoffs.
All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Appreciate everybody with the qualifying. Hope you had enjoyed that. Make sure you're hitting that like button for us. Subscribe to the channel if you're watching on replay. But Michael McDowell, Todd Gilliland, Joey Logano, Ryan Preece, Josh Berry, Chase Briscoe, William Byron, Austin Cindric, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott are your top 10. Kyle Busch starts 11th. A bunch of Toyotas back there in the teens. But we'll see how the Toyotas get together and come to the front tomorrow night. But in the pin message above is your link for the Xfinity race. Make sure you go check that out. Hang out over there. We're going to go bring you the pre-race ceremonies and all that stuff, pre-race show, and let you listen to that too. So 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern. Thanks, CeeLo. Oval's looking good. That's right, they are. Where's Stupid Roofer at? That's his big thing. He loves Fords. But hope you guys had a good time with me tonight. We'll sit here and listen to Michael McDowell do his interview, and then we'll call it a night. I'm going to refresh everything, get the emojis going and everything, and we'll be ready for some NASCAR Xfinity race Wawa 250. We're going to have the live broadcast audio in for the USA Network, plus the NASCAR.com cams. Just like we had it on Monday. If you were here on Monday, you know what to expect. We're going to have a good time. Hope it's a good race. Looks like the weather's going to be good. McDowell swept both Daytona poles. Yes, he did. That's right, because Logano was on the outside pole. So thank you on the Goat Seal. You're welcome, Goldie Socks. You're welcome. I like that name, Goldie Socks. But you're welcome, guys. We'll be bringing you tonight. And then tomorrow, Craftsman Truck Series practice and qualifying for their first playoff race on Sunday. And then we'll be bringing you live coverage, flag to flag, of the Coke Zero Sugar 400, just like we did on Monday, just like we did on Sunday, just like we've done every week possible. So hope you guys ready to have some fun with me this weekend. So thank you guys. And the ones that are still hanging here, when I turn this off, it's going to push you to the Xfinity race automatically. You don't even have to click on anything. So it will redirect you. So enjoy the transfer over, and we'll be ready for you. Mandalorian, what's going on? Who's on the pole for the Xfinity race? Chandler Smith. That's right, Bronny said it right there. Chandler Smith. So we're just going to wait here and let Michael McDowell do his interview, and then we'll bring it in. And it might be a little past 6, but I'll be on.
For tonight and tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, countdown to green for tonight's Xfinity Series race.
Fix or repair daily.
The green drop at 7:30, and then tomorrow, 7 p.m. same time, countdown to green for the Coke Zero Sugar 400, and we'll go racing at 7:30 tomorrow evening. And remember that every green flag lap you will see live tonight and tomorrow. Exciting times. And exciting times if you're Michael McDowell and Front Row Motorsports, right, Dave?
Yeah, it is, Diff, and it's hard to keep up with the pole sitter because it got lots of people to thank, lots of backs to slap, and somebody just said to me that deserves a wow, what a lap.
Yeah, I'm just so proud of everybody at Front Row Motorsports to, have both cars on the front row is amazing. Just a testament to, how hard everybody's working at Front Row. We know we got 2 shots left here. This is a big weekend for us, so to have both cars up front is really important. Hopefully we can, stay up front, control the race, and give ourselves a fighting chance to get in these playoffs. But right now, just really proud of everybody. I mean, it's hard to come down to these super speedways and sit on the pole. And, Roush Yates engines are just crushing it right now. I think we got 6 out of the top 10 there. So really proud of everybody. It's a team effort when you come down here. Driver doesn't have a whole lot to do with it. I feel for Todd. I mean, I know he wanted his first pole so bad, and this is our 3rd this year. It'd have been nice to share the love, but really proud of the 38 team. And those guys have fought hard this year, and I know that their time's coming. But today is awesome to get this Long John Silver Ford Mustang on the pole.
Michael McDowell, he'll start first tomorrow night, Diff.
Yeah, 4th career pole for Michael. And guess what, fellas, as you look at that, that's the first time ever Front Row Motorsports have swept the front row. Well done.
Yeah, look at all the Fords, 1 Chevrolet in that crowd.
You don't have to look too far back, though, to see some of the contenders. Brad Keselowski back in row 6. Hamlin always a threat in row 10. Chastain, Austin Hill back at the Cup Series in row 12.
Tyler Reddick won last week.
Toyota executives are making some phone calls right now.
Share that 13th row with Ty Gibbs. Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Yes, he won the pole.
He's tomorrow night for the 47.
Eric Jones unable to complete his lap, so I have to keep an eye on that. I'm sure they can get it figured out before the race tomorrow night.
Let's get back to Dave Burns. Dave, who have you found?
All right, so we're going to call it a night. And Todd, let's listen to his partner, Todd Gilliland.
How well does this bode for tomorrow night?
I wanted it extremely bad. Yeah, like you said, right? It's been tough. Michael's got the last now 3 poles in a row. Our Ford Mustangs coming out of Front Row Motorsports have been incredibly fast. So that's something to celebrate for sure. On the flip side of it, right, we wanted to get it super bad, but we'll be on the front row here. And, we definitely have a car that's fast enough to go win this race tomorrow. So, yeah, it's not the fastest one here. It's close to it. Super happy to be have Grillos on board. And like I said, how about the Ford horsepower? It's top 6 and a bunch there at the front. So really excited about it. And I definitely know if we can put together a whole race, we definitely have the speed to go win the race.
Diff, this young veteran will be a part of the story tomorrow.
What an honor for Front Row Motorsports to lead the field to green.
All right, so hope you guys had a good time this afternoon. For the ones that joined us, if you watched this on replay, make sure you hit that like button for us and subscribe to the channel On The Go at CeeLo. All right, y'all, I'm going to take about a 30-minute break. We're going to be back here for the Wawa 250 pre-race show, pre-race ceremonies, and then the green flag with all the marbles, the audio, the cams, you and me hanging out here on a Friday night at Daytona. So hope you had a great time. Thanks to my lovely wife, Spain, for everything that she does while I stay here with you guys. I want to thank my kids as well for giving up their hard-earned time with me as well. And I want to also thank my mods who are always hanging out here as well. Their hard personal time that they could be doing something else, they're here hanging out with us. So thank you so much for all you do. I want to thank my members for giving their hard-earned money back to the channel, and I want to thank you guys for watching. If it wasn't for you, there would be no CeeLo. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys in about 30 minutes. And maybe a little past 6, but be patient. Head on over there to the Xfinity race. Hang out in the chat. Talk some NASCAR. I know Bronny will be over there. But get you a drink. Get you a snack. Get some food. It's going to be a good time tonight at Daytona. Well, good night, guys. We'll see you in a little bit. 30 minutes. Congratulations, FRM and Michael McDowell on the pole for the Daytona Coke Zero Sugar 400. Good night, guys.